Hello, hello. How are you guys? What a lovely evening. What a lovely Saturday. How are you all doing today? Who's joining us first? Yay, yay, yay. Who is it? I need to see. Rochelle White. Yay. Hello, Rochelle. How are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining us and always being constant first person. Thank you. Me Julie, good evening. How are you? Uriyomi Bolaluro, good evening. Thank you guys. As you're coming in, please share this link. Share this video so that other people can see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good evening, Gloria. How are you? It's so lovely to see you guys joining us again. I feel like I've been with you all day today. Gosh, how are you? Anyway, thank you for joining us again this evening. Ido, good evening. Omonike, good evening. How are you? I hope you're okay. I trust that you're all okay because you're joining us, and I know that you're going to have a fantastic time this evening. I know you had a great time yesterday with Pastor Nikki and Dr. Sunday, and today I am back. Yay! How are you guys? Apostle Yomi, good evening. Good evening, Professor Daniel. Good evening, Elizabeth Ali. Queen Elizabeth, how are you? This is my Queen Wave. Adebayo, good evening. Evan, thank you for joining us again. It's nice to have you on board in all the sessions. That's brilliant. Well done. Mofelola, good evening. Joe, Pastor Anu, good evening. Queen Anastasia, how are you? Good evening. Omonike, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I can see that you're sharing. Please, everybody else, let's start sharing as soon as possible. The sooner we start sharing, the better, because that means more people will join us. Hello, Sister Yetunde. How are you? Michelle, good evening. Or is it Michael? Sorry, Michael, good evening. Thank you so much, guys. Please, 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 share, share, share. And if you're sharing, don't just share on your page. Also invite your friends. Ask them to join us. Adeolu, good evening. Edwin, thank you, Pastor Edwin. Thank you so much. And thank you for being concerned today and checking up on Dr. Sunday. Egwami, good evening. Jane, it's lovely to have you on board. Good evening. Thank you, guys. Please share. Dr. Sunday is here. And if you're doubting, let me just turn to him so you can see that he's here. Yippee! Yeah. Guys, have you seen him? Are you happy now? I know you've missed him because I've got messages to confirm that people asking me, where's Dr. Sunday? Where's Dr. Sunday? Well, he's here now. Good evening, Chigo. Oriyomi, good evening again. I missed some people. Ogwani, good evening. That's peace. Good evening. Abo, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you, guys. Keep sharing so that I can see, and it would say so number of people have shared. But I've only seen a smaller number than the numbers that are actually watching that sharing. So, Pastor Ernest, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you. So, without further ado, what's the first thing I should do? The announcement, guys, the contest. You know about the contest already. You know where to go to find out more information. There is detailed information on Dr. Sunday's page. It's pinned up on top of the page, so you'll be able to access it very easily. So there's no problem with doing that. So go ahead, go to Dr. Sunday's page where you are now. You would see the contest. If you don't want to do that now, you can do that later. You can even copy the information onto your desktop so that you'll be able to see it and know what the criteria are and also the prizes. The prizes are amazing. I told you this afternoon, one of the prizes, I experienced it myself and it changed my life. Here I am, here in Ukraine, just talking to him for on Skype for a little bit, and here I am now. So go ahead, enter the competition, or shall I say contest, as I like to say. So guys, don't forget, please share. And for those of you that are joining us for the first time, let me just remind you, you can access Dr. Sunday Adelaja's material on YouTube, which is Sunday Adelaja Official. So go to YouTube, there's a playlist of all his material over the last many years, not just live broadcast, but the 30 series on live broadcast as well that you can watch over and over again. And also you can go to his blog, which is sundayadelajablog.com. There are a host of materials on that. And if you want the information about Nigerian Transformation Project, if you don't know anything, put a slash at the end of .com and add Nigeria. So that's the little information I'm going to give you for now. So guys, welcome and thanks for sharing. I can see a number of people have shared. So let's start today. Okay. Right, there's a question, and this is related to the Moses and the Joshua generation, which we talked about a few days ago. And the question is, how can those that are stuck with Moses move over to Joshua? That's the question. So guys, if you don't know how this question is relating, you need to watch the last few days question time. So please check it out. That was the question time a couple of days ago. Check that out, and then this will make sense.
How would they check it out? Does it have a title?
Yes.
Of Moses?
It doesn't have a title of Moses.
So how would they check if it doesn't have
okay,
how would
check
they search for it?
For the date. Use the date, please, for now.
Give them the date then.
Yes. So the
date.
So
you have to have the title. That's just the only answer. You're talking about Moses and Joshua. Yes. So make sure you title them immediately you finish. Maybe you title them now so that they could look for it later.
Okay.
You see, that's why you must do what you need to do immediately and without leaving for tomorrow what you could do today. Because for the whole week, I've been telling you people, change the titles from numbers to titles. You've been saying, yeah, you and Kate, yeah, but you've been too busy. But that could be done parallel. As we are going through this, you could be naming all the other ones.
Okay. You heard Pastor Dr. Sunday, right? I'm supposed to have done that. You know me, guys. I'm learning. I am a slow learner, so I'm going to do it. But I do apologize. So let's continue. Pastor said the day is going. Let's continue. So you'll get the right information. I'll put it on the schedule here on the comment section to tell you which title. So guys, so the question is again, sir, is how can those who are stuck with Moses move over to Joshua?
First of all, I want to appreciate you, Mayowa and Kate, for standing in for me today, and Olena, because today was a long day for me. I was in court from morning even to today is Saturday, but I go to court several times a week, and I have to go and sit there the whole day. So today was such a day, and that's why, as a matter of fact, when we start the broadcast again, the daily broadcast again in June, as I promised, that is in case we'll do 100,000. If we are going to have 100,000 before my birthday, then I promise that I will begin to come out daily again like we were doing before from June. But the problem with that is, I think it's going to be from June 5th or something. And first, it's going to be Wednesday, so it's not going to be on first. It has to be on the Monday. So that's going to probably be 5th or so, something like that. So because of this court that I'm going, like you all know what happened. The case was thrown out of court because the judges said it's a false accusation against me. But then the government went and put pressure on the appeal courts, and they returned it to court. So I'm going to be going to court every day almost here in this country. That's the way it is. So because of that, and it starts in the morning, I have to leave early in the morning, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning. So because of that, I will probably not be doing the daily broadcast like I was doing it last year, which was twice a day, because I'll be in court every morning basically now. the way it will probably work out is that I will just be doing daily broadcasts in the evening. Maybe that's even good for people because it might, give them more settlement, more opportunity to, instead of getting two teachings a day, they could be getting one teaching. But the only thing I could do is that with the evening teaching, I could be doing 2 hours instead of 1 hour. Just like we do on Saturday. So I'll be able to cover longer, more ground, even though I will be coming out just in the evening, like 9 o'clock, like we were doing it before. I used to come out 9:30 in the morning and 9 o'clock in the evening, our time. So it's still going to be the same thing, but only in the evening. And what day would that be on Monday? On the first Monday in June. So that would probably be the day. Was the first Monday in June? Can anybody check that? What date? Is it 5th?
Yes.
So it's 5th. So it's probably the 5th that we will start. That is if we have 100,000. So I want to commend you people for standing in for me, for standing the gap when I was in court. And then for the second program, for standing in. My premier minister and disciple, Pastor Natasha, was 70 today. So today is her 70th birthday. So I was there with her in the evening. That's why I was not there for the last one, for the Olena, the Russian interview. Now I'm back. Coming from I had to leave the celebration, the 78th birthday celebration. I stayed there for a short time and ran here. Well, now that I'm here, let the journey begin. So, if the question is, if people are stuck with the Moses generation, what should they do? First of all, I will have to say that my preference and what I normally tell people is that if you know you are stuck with the Moses generation and the practices are not good for you, the practices are erroneous, and the practices could pollute you or could hamper your possibility of moving on to the promised land, that the practices of the church or denomination is probably going to make you stand and stay and perish and die in the wilderness without reaching the promised land. And what does that mean in our own case here? Not in the case of Moses and Joshua in the Old Testament, we know what it means. But what does that mean in the case of us today? What that means is that you have been delivered from Egypt as a believer. You have been delivered from sin. You have inherited salvation. But you will not be able to get into the promised land. What does that mean? Well, in our case here, meaning that even though you are a born-again Christian, but you are not being taught the way and the process and the steps to take to make sure that you don't just get born again, going to church in and out for the rest of your life. They are not teaching you that you can have your own ministry, that you have not ministry like in pulpit ministry, but they are not teaching you because of the Moses generation's duty is not always to teach people on how to cultivate the ground of promise. So that's the problem with the Moses generation people. They don't lead you to inherit your own land of promise. In the meanwhile, everybody that was brought out of Egypt is meant to inherit a land of promise. But this Moses generation, they are not concerned about that. They are called to bring you out of Egypt. And now that you are out of Egypt, they want to keep you around them. They want to keep you to be, through their miracles, through their signs they're doing, and through their authority. So, but the problem is that they died in the wilderness. They don't, because they keep you around them, and they will not enter. Moses didn't enter the promised land. So all those people who came out with him, they didn't enter too. They were not able to enter. The only people that entered were the Joshua generation. And what made them? What is the difference of that generation? Is that those are the people that know that they have their own calling. they are not just called to stay in the four walls of the church. They know that they have a grace of God upon them. And then, they were made to know. But some people, they will not even know that. They will think that, and Moses generation people will they will make you to believe that as long as you are coming to church to give tithe and offering, or you are serving in that church, that you are doing well. And that's why people perish in the wilderness. Perish in the wilderness means you die while you did not go. You did not manage to go into your own promised land. So you died a Christian, but you did not even enter into your calling, to place of fulfilling it. But the Joshua generation leaders are the people who are teaching you that you have your own calling. Don't just hang out around me. Don't just be around me and be helping me. Don't just be bringing tithe here and sitting here for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years until you die. People are just dying every day. Even as pastors, they are coming and dying. And it's natural to die. All of us are going to die. But in what state would death meet you? Will death meet you in your own promised land, where you are totally taking over your promised land and you are cultivating it, and you are, bringing the altar of God there and glorifying God there and causing the earth to glorify God? Or you are just, being faithful in being a church member who is just trying to serve another man's vision? So what I'm saying is that with the Moses generation, the problem is that the problem is that they don't teach you that you have your own calling, and they don't help you to get there. They tell you that it's your calling to just hang around with them in the wilderness until you die there. Now, that is one aspect of that problem of the Joshua or Moses generation churches and leaders. The other problem with the Moses generation leaders is that some of them have even done worse. Some of them do worse than that. They will go to the extent of imprisoning you, enslaving you, and captivating you with laws, rules, and fear. They could be telling you things like, God has brought you here. They will use all kinds of manipulations and gimmicks just to make sure that you don't do anything apart from what they tell you. In fact, in those kind of churches, those Moses generation leaders, they will make you to feel bad anytime you want to do your own thing. Anytime you want to pursue what God wants you to do. In fact, they will even build all kind of doctrine around you and around the church, so much that you would think the best you can do is just to be showing up every Sunday and be obeying them. So that is the deadly thing about the Moses generation leadership. Even though they play their own role at a certain point, and thank God for them, but because of this kind of mindset, they keep people dying under them. And they keep on burying them until they themselves die. And it doesn't depend on the age. There might be people who are just 20 years old ministers or 25-year-old ministers. They too might be having the same mentality, the same Moses generation mindset. In fact, the worst of this Moses generation mindset is that some of them will come up with some incredible, unbiblical, and ungodly doctrines. One of those evil doctrines that people have come up in church is that they will tell you that you cannot have your own vision, because if you have your own vision, it is a division. They will tell you that to have your own vision is a division. Can you believe that? As if God didn't create you unique. As if God didn't create you to be different. As if God didn't create you with your own vision. Meanwhile, before you met that pastor, who either is a Moses or no Moses, before you met him, God had created you and had given you your own vision. You discover it or you don't discover it, it's not your problem. It's your own problem. But he has created you like he said in Jeremiah chapter 1, that while you are in your mother's womb, you are called. Before you are in your mother's womb, you are called. While you are still there in that mother's womb, you have been anointed for a nation, or for the nations, or for one thing or the other. So now to say an ordinary man who is driven by fear, who belongs to the old, who who is from the Moses generation is now telling you that you cannot have your own vision until he tells you you have vision. And that for you to have a vision is to have the vision. I mean, what kind of crazy doctrine is that one? Just because you want to control people and manipulate them and put them under you. It is what I call plantation. It is not a church. If you go to that kind of church where they tell you cannot have your own vision, and that to have a vision is to bring the vision, you don't need a curse. You are already under a curse. Nobody needs to curse you. Because that man and that leadership, that church is cursing you. It's your own curse right there. They are just truncating your destiny. They are putting you in prison yard in the spirit. They are locking you up. You are already locked up, self. So if you go to that kind of church, you just know that you are not, the Spirit of God doesn't do that. It is working. The people are working against the purpose of God that was intended before you were even born. The calling that was put in you before you were called is now being truncated by people who are being led by fear. You know that is a Moses generation kind of church. That is a dying church, a church of the past, not of the future. And they will keep you in the wilderness. Wilderness means in a church, in the four walls of the church, where you don't enter into your own independent ministry. Now, the other thing that people have done with this kind of fear and doctrine, the Moses generation kind of leadership, another thing they have done is that they have also developed another doctrine which is called loyalty and disloyalty, or loyal or disloyal, or something like that, some funny names. People do all kind of rubbish to keep people together. And what that means is that any single thing you want to do that your pastor has not sanctioned, they will say you are disloyal. It is a doctrine of hell. No matter how spiritual it sounds, no matter how divine it sounds, the people put all these things in spiritual packages. They make it look spiritual and they make it look as if it is God himself that is talking. They will bring all kind of scriptures. But the way you should know that it's not God is because it is against the nature and the character of God himself that you are disloyal because to man. In fact, I've even heard some of those teachers say that God doesn't speak to sons. God doesn't speak to children. He doesn't speak to sons, that he only speaks to fathers. That even if you belong to those kind of churches, you will have to go to these so-called pastors to hear what God is speaking about you. So God cannot speak to you because you are just a son. Because you have a father. As long as you have a father, God cannot speak to you. He can only speak to them, and then they will now tell you what God is saying. Are you kidding me? We are all children of God. I don't even know. I mean, this kind of gullibility, this kind of doctrine of Satan is only being spread in Africa mainly. But because, Europeans will reason and think with their head and know that this is rubbish. But Africans will believe this kind of rubbish because they think there is the fear of God. But it's actually the fear of man. They are not putting their head to work. To say that, God will only speak to some fathers, human being, when you're already, and they will go to, some of them will go and quote Moses and Joshua and say, okay, Joshua the son of Nun did not have the spirit of wisdom until Moses laid down on him. But you are in the New Testament, my dear. In the Old Testament, yes, only 4 categories of people had the Spirit of God, and Moses had to lay hands on him to get that same spirit. But in the New Testament, all of us have the Spirit of God, including your pastor or you. The same Spirit of God is in you. Some people are talking about impartation, or if they don't impart you, or they don't ordain you, if they don't lay hands on you, you cannot start the ministry. Are you kidding me? These are kind of bondages that people are using. Okay, before you can, to keep you in your prison, is in their plantation. You are just working in their plantation for free or bringing tithe to them. That's what you are doing. You are a slave on the plantation, not the church they go to. You are a plantation slave. Or at most, at most, you are servicing a family business of some pastors. You are the one walking, oh, what do they say? Monkey day something, or they say bamboo day something or whatever. Monkey they walk, bamboo they shop or something. That is your case. So you are the one going to walk, going to jump from 8 to 8 or 9 or whatever. I mean from 8 to 5, and bring in 5-10% of it to the pastor. And you are saying you are being faithful to God, not because you are faithful to. You are being faithful to your foolishness and to human, human establishment. And to, you are supporting a corruption scheme. You say that tithe should be paid. So that is the problem with the Moses kind of leadership. But the Joshua leadership is the one that knows that they need to go to. You must go to your land of promise. And when you get there, you must cultivate the ground yourself. Milk no go flow by itself. Honey no go flow by itself. You go cultivate them. You have to learn the skills of getting milk. You have to cultivate the skill of getting honey. You are the one that a piece of land must be divided into. And he is leading you there and teaching you the skills of how you could conquer your own land. He is letting you know that you are called. The reason why you are brought to the church is to be taught in the church on how to take dominion of God's kingdom for him. Is for you, the church, to equip you and raise you up to be a son, and then release you, not for them to be keeping you there forever until you are dead. This is not civil service that you have to be here till you pension. So this is a place where you are supposed to be equipped. The only reason why you are in church is to be equipped to be released. That's the only reason. And you don't need permission to leave. You don't need anybody's blessing. In fact, if you want anybody's blessing, just for you to go and honor the person, and because they have been with you, because you want to honor them and show good behavior. It's not that anybody's blessing is what will make you to prosper or to make the work to work, because you have already been called. The church is supposed to help you be equipped and release you. And in fact, if you don't want to go, to be kicking you out. That's what it says in Ephesians. That God gave apostles, teachers, prophets, and evangelists, and pastors, to the body of Christ, so that they will equip the body. They will keep the saints, for the saints to go and do the work of the ministry. But today, the work of ministry is what people say, come and serve in the church. And that is the Moses generation model of church. The work of the ministry is not to come and sit there in church and serve. The work of the ministry is for you to be released from the church to go and serve and do the work of ministry. So that the whole creation that is crying and is whining and groaning for the manifestation of the sons of God, they will meet those sons of God. You are the sons of God that are supposed to be released to go and set free those creature of God that are mourning and groaning and waiting for the manifestation. You are the one the whole creature is waiting for to be manifested. And then they are keeping you in church to come and do the manifestation in church among yourselves. To other sons. That you are light. You go and be pointing your light to other brothers with light. You are blurring everybody's face. Eyes. Too much light just blurs the eyes. You don't see anything again. Then you begin to fight each other. That's why all the problem and the crisis in churches are taking place. So if you are there in those kind of churches where you feel that you are stuck with the Moses generation kind of something, that's why the reason why I said my own preference is that if you are seeing it or that this your church, it qualifies to what I've just described now, that they are not allowing you, even if it's Moses generation that is destructive. Because there might be Moses generation leaders, but that they are equipping you, they are not holding you back, they are not making you into a slave, they are not, making you to work on them, they are helping you to accomplish your vision or something. If that is the case, then you don't need to leave. So the point I'm trying to say is that you might not necessarily need to leave that church if you think that they are doing well, you are doing good, they are helping you, they are manifesting the nature and the character of Christ. But if they are just typical Moses generation churches that are doing what I had said earlier, making you into a slave and making you to work as a laborer in the a plantation or a family business, then you need to pick race. You just need to leave. Now there might be other situations where you might not want to leave. Even though there might be other circumstances, like maybe you have personal relationship with the leadership or with the pastor, and it's like a father to you, and you don't feel you should leave because you think it's, you have some engagement, some attachment, and you don't have the power to leave. Well, that is okay, but then be doing your own ministry parallel, or going to the calling that God has called you into. Find a way to still be fulfilling your destiny, despite the fact that you are still in those churches. So you can still be in that church, but you'll be doing what God, because God's authority has to come before the man's authority. So that's another way you could go about it, because there are some people who say they are so attached they cannot leave. So there might be different 100 and 1,000 reasons why there might be, people might not be able to leave, but make sure you don't disobey. In fact, Paul said, Agrippa, King Agrippa, I am not disobedient to the heavenly calling. You cannot be disobedient to the calling of God that comes from heaven, the one that was already put in you before you were born. Just because you want to obey a king. This will not be king, even a pastor. Paul said he cannot disobey heavenly calling. You shouldn't disobey heavenly calling just because of some spiritual, so-called spiritual leadership or father or something. That's what I want to say.
Okay, guys, you've heard it. That's a lot of answers, and it's loaded with so much. So, first of all, Dr. Sunday helped with identifying the criteria that makes Moses' generation kind of church or preaching. So he mentioned those criteria so that you would identify them. For those that have already identified them, the advice is leave, pick race, because you're disobedient to God and He's stopping you from identifying your own purpose and walking in your purpose. And it also means that you fear man more than you fear God, because being disobedient to God means you don't respect God and you're not doing things in the purpose that God have created you to be. And he also gave another thing, which is that if you're in the Moses generation setting and you feel like, okay, you need to be there, but parallel, you must be doing something in your own purpose so that you don't miss it. There's a lot, again, that was said, so please do not die.
Maybe tell them to share.
Yes, please don't die in the on the journey. Make sure that you achieve your purpose and you get to the promised land. That's the whole point of this. So in order to get into the promised land, you know what to do. So go back and watch this and listen.
I'm laughing.
And listen over and over.
Wait.
Share. Dr. Sunday, I'm going to switch it to him.
I did laugh, yeah. Because I made a mistake of opening my comments to read the comments before I write it. I did die, you.
Because like the same boat.
Look what someone is writing. Gregory said, Nigerian pastors are having that attack. Right. There's some pastors are having that heart attack. Right. Massive heart attack across the land. Because of truth. Truth, they bring heart attack. The truth can only bring out attack to those people who don't want to accept the truth now, or who know they love the truth. Truth is supposed to bring deliverance. And you pastors are having that attack right now all across the country, all across the land, and they are cursing Pastor Sunday. They are praying that Pastor Sunday will never come to Nigeria. I go come. There is nothing you can do to stop me. Me, I dey come. I'm going to overcome all the demons here in Ukraine, and I'm going to come after the ones in Nigeria too. So make you intensify your prayer. And I don't go die. If you think I'm going to die before I come, I'm not dying. I'm coming. So make you take Panadol and heart attack tablets right now before I get there. For this one, I'm not getting there. You're having that attack. The real heart attack will come when I arrive. Stella Nuhu said, "Oh yes, oh, I'm rolling on the floor here." Me, they roll on my sofa here too. She said she's rolling on the floor over there in Abuja. Some are committing, some are having that attack, some are rolling on the floor.
Okay, let's do this.
Yes, we could continue.
Dr. Sunday can laugh and it's infectious, so already you know that, so I don't need to say no more. Okay, there's another question, sir, that says, how do you pray or fellowship?
No. You cannot just, you have to round up this particular topic where we're talking about. Why are you?
I'm in a hurry.
Somebody put fire for your leg?
No.
Why are you in a hurry to?
I'm in a hurry to.
Now, wow. Is it because you were not around yesterday?
No, it wasn't. No. So, guys, okay, let's round this up again. All right? Joshua generation and Moses generation, they were both defined. The Joshua generation, they got into the promised land, whereas the Moses generation, they died, they perished. So they didn't get to the promised land. So the question here is saying that those who are stuck with the Moses generation, how do they move on? So Dr. Sunday said that the way you move on is, first of all, you need to identify that being in the Moses generation means that you're going to perish there. So if you perish there, is that what you want for yourself? Secondly, you need to know that God is the only person that you need to fear. It's not the people that are promoting this doctrine of the Moses generation. The person you need to fear is God, and ensure that you make it into the promised land. And the only way to do that is that you move on. You actually follow what God has said and do that, and go into your promised land. And also, there's another thing that he said, I thought it was a very good point, which is that the Moses generation is not dependent on age. It is actually anyone that carries that doctrine. So, we might be thinking that being a Moses generation, it means that it would be older pastors or older churches that would be carrying the doctrine. But that's actually is misleading, because it could be anybody that believes in that or believe in that system. So he mentioned that it could be a 20-year-old pastor that is leading a congregation but has the doctrine of the Moses generation. So if that pastor, you can identify from the criteria that he gave, if that pastor has a Moses generation doctrine, then please pick race. You know that term.
Like Usain Bolt.
Like Usain Bolt, like somebody has said that. So don't hang around. Don't be afraid of human. Be afraid of God and love God. If you love God, you want to do your best, and it means that you have to be in your purpose and and go to the promised land as you've been promised. Okay? So I think that summarizes everything. If you want more information, please go back and listen to this slowly. Listen to it over and over again.
Someone is asking, how do you get equipped? How do you get equipped for your ministry? Is my book there, Kingdom Driven Life? If you want to get equipped for ministry, I have written a book that is called The Kingdom Driven Life. Go and read this book. You will know what it means to be equipped. Or go to my YouTube page, Sunday Adelaja Official, and there are series of messages there. One of the series, if you go to the playlist, is called the Kingdom Series. Kingdom Series, or Calling and Purpose. So go and find Kingdom Series. That's different from Calling and Purpose. And you can find also the series on Calling and Purpose. Or you could go to my blog, SundayAdelajablog.com. Go and look for the SundayAdelajablog.com/video. Then if you go to the video section, you will see all the videos, and the same, you have a category for Calling and Purpose, and you have another category for Kingdom Series, the series. And you'll be equipped, because too many things to say on how to get equipped right now. It's going to be too long.
Yes, guys, go to Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel, which is Sunday Adelaja Official. Definitely, you will find all those information, the Purpose series, and also the Kingdom series. And also, in addition to the Kingdom Driven Life, you could also read my favorite book, which is Who Am I? Why Am I Here? So that in combination will really help you, and you wouldn't have to fear or look at anybody for their approval. The only person's approval you need is God's approval. Okay? So there you go. You don't need anyone to be praying for you. So the next question, can I move on to that now, sir?
Well, I don't know if you were able to help the guy grab the question, because I said there that they don't. You mentioned the fact that I said they should leave the church.
Yes. And also, okay. Guys,
I think that's what you would have done.
I want everyone to leave church, and let's start again. Let's reboot the computer. Get out and restart. We reboot and
you
reset.
want bulldozer?
Yes, that's what I want.
But I'm not as radical as you then, because I'm giving some possibilities and some chances. But you decided to just go to the end product. So I want you to adequately represent me.
Okay, guys.
I think you only talk about leaving the church alone. That's the best. But there are other situations that I narrated.
Guys, this is how you know that you're watching a Joshua generation pastor, because it's not holding you down at all. Here I am. I'm here, little lady. I know what I want you to do. Get out of the church, reboot the computer, let's restart everything. But, he's all about this. He's all about freedom, choices. You choose using your own mind. And he said, which I tried to skip because I thought, just let everyone leave and let's start. But he said that if you're in a Moses generation church and you feel that you need to be there, that's where you're called, from your heart, then stay. But in addition to staying, you need to be working in your own purpose. You need to identify your own purpose and making sure that you're working in it so that you don't miss it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So your presence might be there, but you're also focused on what you need to do in order for you to be in the promised land, not be away from the promised land. So you go to the church, but you're meeting your promise and you're in the promised land until they catch up with you. But I just think that's a waste of your time. But who am I? I don't know anything. Just get out, pick raised, as we say here. But Dr. Sunday is always fair, is always balanced, and that's why he's giving you that choice. If you think that's what you want to do, then do it, but do it knowing that you're in that land of promise. So that's it. I hope I have served you well right now. If I haven't, let me know, and I will try better next time.
Yeah, we need to find out if that question is really been given.
Exhausted.
So you have to, exhausted. You have to think on it. What could be in the mind of the people concerning the Moses Joshua issue? Somebody just asked now. Maybe some people are asking other things. What should we do then to get equipped? What should we do then to be able to be ready for the promised land, to follow the Joshua generation, and things like that?
Yes, I think we have another question that will help us. So guys, from the questions that some people are writing up there, I noticed that some people are really, really stuck in this Moses generation and they can't get out.
It's not as easy as you thought.
It's like you need a mind shift to get out. This is still bothering you. You're still feeling like, oh, I can't, this is where I'm supposed to be. Or
Let me tell you something. You see now, after you went to look at the comments, now you are getting it. But I didn't look at the comment now, right now. I'm feeling it in the spirit that we have not been released. And the Holy Spirit is not even releasing me to move to another topic here.
Wow.
And that, there are some people who are still bothered, who are still concerned, and who would like to hear more. Yeah. And what the Lord spoke to me while I was speaking earlier is that we should, that is for Kate, we should write a book on this topic, the Moses generation versus the Joshua generation. And we should, from the last time teaching and this teaching, these two teachings will make that book. Yeah. Not yesterday, the Moses generation. Okay, let's go ahead. You are saying some very good stuff.
Yes. So I've observed that from the questions or the comments that you're making, you're still stuck in the fact that you need to be in the church and you need to be with the Moses generation. But Dr. Sunday, I think we should just retreat this, or not retreat it, but work on some of the other questions that have been asked, which is, so some people mentioned about the fivefold ministry, because this is a doctrine and everything that we've been told, if you've been in a Moses generation, about fivefold ministry, and especially for those who want to be in ministry. So one question is, what are the process, or what is the process of becoming fully equipped?
I just answered that. That's why I showed the book about
yes. So the process to become fully equipped is to educate yourself, develop yourself with the book that Dr. Sunday just showed you, which is The Kingdom Driven Life. The book, if I show you this way, you might not see it well, but here.
That's the best way to do it.
Okay. The Kingdom Driven Life. And in addition to this, I also suggest another book by Dr. Sunday, which is Who Am I and Why Am I Here? Both combination together would help you to be equipped. So, secondly, the person also asked, are you equipped on battle, or are you equipped one battle at a time? Or can you be equipped once and for all? So, I think this is going back to the Moses generation, saying that, it's going to take time for you to understand and be equipped, so you need to stay under them, because this is what they say all the time, that you need to stay under them for 100 years until you actually are old enough to be Moses yourself. And they've used you up. But if that's your mindset, it's not. Once you get the knowledge, okay, don't limit God. Equip yourself, and then start working in what you have, and that will develop further. But I'm not the one that you're asking, so let's ask Dr. Sunday.
Okay, first of all, you had mentioned fivefold ministry there. That is one of the greatest instrument of manipulation in the church today. People talk about fivefold ministry as if that is the only ministry you could have. People talk about fivefold ministry as if you are called by God, you can only be called to do fivefold ministry. Some people will even say they leave their field of interest, their calling. Their calling where they actually have passion for, where they actually are supposed to be, and say that they want to go into the ministry. So they were supposed to be using their skills and that is the area they feel their heart is in, to serve God. But because they want to serve God so bad, they feel. So a lot of people right now in the church are feeling that the only way to serve God is for you to be fivefold ministry. As if you cannot serve God as a teacher, as if you cannot serve God as a politician, as if you cannot serve God as an engineer, as if you cannot serve God as a professor, as if you cannot serve God as a doctor, or just anything. Of course, there is a difference between your job and your calling. Your job is not necessarily your calling. But what I'm saying is that your calling is not limited only to the four walls of the church. Your calling could be outside the church. Your calling could be to bring the kingdom of God to every other sphere of life. Yes, your job is not necessarily, because you might be going to your job because you needed money or you just went there. But you might be having a calling that is also your job. But that is not in the church. That is the point I'm trying to make. Your calling doesn't have to be in the four walls of the church or in the fivefold ministry. So people will leave areas where they could be equipping, they could bring in the kingdom of God to where they could be subduing for God. Where they could be restoring the earth back to God. To come and they just drop everything and say they want to come to ministry and do ministry. and what ministry and fulfill calling? Who told you cannot fulfill calling there? So that's the problem that this teaching on fivefold ministry has caused. It's not that the teaching of fivefold ministry is not the real, but the thing about the fivefold ministry is that even though everybody has a calling from God to subdue the earth for God, but there are some who are called to be in the leadership of the church. There are some who are called to the church so that they will help equip other people in the church to release them from the church outside. So there are some people who will be called to the church to help release people. But we are releasing people to the world to go and subdue the world there. But some people are coming back and saying that is the only place they could serve God. But in the real sense, we could all serve God everywhere. So that's the problem with the fivefold ministry. So if your church is not about equipping you to go and serve God in your own area of calling, then you know you are following the Moses generation of churches. And so this person who is saying, how can he get equipped? Let's see. If the church is not equipping you, begin to equip yourself. Get those books, get the messages we have spoken about, equip yourself and find your own promised land and take the kingdom there.
The third part, sir, is that can you be equipped once and for all?
No, it's an ongoing process. And it's an ongoing process, not in the church, but exactly while you are on the field. Okay. You might want to explain that for everyone.
Yes. So in terms of being equipped once and for all, once you're equipped with one thing, you go out and you start to work on what you have, what is already in your hand. And then God will reveal more to you. But you don't have to stay to get all the equipment that you need for your whole lifetime in the church of the Moses. You go out, and once you have one equipment, which we just mentioned, self-educate yourself, that this equipment is enough for you to start. And as you're using this, as you're faithful with this, you will get more equipment. So why don't you think of it that way? So don't think you have to stay to get everything you need and then go out. No, this alone is enough to start. Okay? So that's that. I'm just going to look at the question to see if we've addressed this and to ask people to please share. So guys, please start sharing now. Yes, somebody says practice makes perfect. Thank you for sharing, Brenda. I can see you just shared. Serving God is not in the church. Jesus said, go out and, yes, very good. Thank you. I think it's an ignorance which people have to deal with. Thank you, Hope. Okay. Yes, too much emphasis has been placed on fivefold ministry. That's Amachi. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Edwin Amin said that, Pastor, the book should be your forerunning materials. Nigerian, I think there's more to that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we've... Chinwe is saying that we might need to go for brain reconstruction surgery. No, you don't need that. Just coming here alone, watching and listening to Dr. Sunday, going to Sunday Adelaja official, that is the brain reconstruction surgery that we need, Chinwe. And because that's what helped me. I was in this Moses church as well, and here I am getting my life back. So, and better. So there you go. Don't worry. We don't need to go to that surgery. Well, this is the surgery. Oh, okay. Okay, I think we've exhausted that question from your question. I can't see any more questions. Okay, somebody says, thanks for the question on the Moses generation versus Joshua generation. Okay, somebody said, and you will encourage, so, and will you encourage, will follow you, Pastor, to Nigeria by God's grace? Okay, somebody's just saying. Okay, guys, I think we can ask one more question. Yeah, people just want you in Nigeria. By God's grace, you'll be in Nigeria. Oh, okay. All right. So, can we move on now? I think.
Well, please.
Okay. I'm just asking you because the Holy Spirit might still have something. So, this one is about prayer. It says, how do you pray? How do you pray or fellowship with God, as you mostly said all the time? I think there's more, because this person said, as you mostly say. Okay. I think he said, as you mostly say you pray.
I have about 20 hours of teaching on that question alone. 20 hours. Okay. And here we have 1 hour, and it's only 5 minutes left out of that 1 hour. So I will encourage you to go to YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. Look for my series on prayers. Prayer series. And you'll hear to the fullest, more than you go begging for, on how to pray and how to fellowship with God. Or you could go to the blog as well, sundayadelajablog.com/video, and go to this prayer series.
Thank you, sir. So the answers to that is you go to Sunday Adelaja Official, which is YouTube, and on the playlist you would see prayer series. Click on that and you will have all the answer you need. Over 40 hours of teaching on that again. So it's better served there. So go on Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube, and also you can go on sundayadelajablog.com. You would have more materials there. So check those two sites out and you get the answer that you need and more. 40 hours and over of the answer. So, sir, I think maybe we can finish on a lighter note, which is that DSA, which of the music do you listen to? Or probably there is no list of music. So I would suppose that which music do you listen to, or what kind of music do you listen to and inspires you?
I'm mostly inspired by praise and worship kind of music. Praise and worship kind of music is what I'm inspired by. I used to like a worship team that is there used to be a worship group that used to be called Maranatha in those days, in the 90s, in the 80s. And then there used to be another worship group or another organization. I don't know what they used to be called, but it used to be headed by Don Moyen. I think it's Asana something. It used to be a big music kind of, it's a music organization. I think it's closed down now, but they used to have a lot of, especially in the 90s, they have a lot of Asana Integrity. I think it might be Asana Integrity. But it's not just one music group. There are a lot of them. And that Asana Integrity, yeah, I know, I think it's Hosanna Praise and Worship Music. Hosanna Integrity.
Somebody says Integrity Music and Hosanna Music.
Yeah, Integrity Music and Hosanna Music, yes. So they have mainly praise and worship kind of music. Those are the kind of music that I fall for, mostly. Then, if there are some solo music or solo songs that are high quality, that are genuinely good and deep, I like it when it's deep, genuinely original, and I like anything quality. If it's high quality kind of rendition, I like all form of music if it's high quality.
Sir, you did say worship music, but I have sent you worship music that you don't like.
Yes, it's not automatic. I just told you the type of worship music that I like. The kind of worship music, the style. So that Asana Integrity and Maranatha, that kind of style, those are the ones I like. The one you sent me was one that, the ones that are reigning now by these Africans or what we call it, not African, but I'm not just into, I don't want to mention it. If you want, you can mention it because you are the one who sent it to me. but I don't like it. Because I'm actually surprised by the way why people call that worship music. For me, that is not worship music. For me, that is just solo music, which the focus of it is mainly on the singer. So these are the kind of musicians that are reigning now, that are mainly concentrated on showing how gifted they are. They are the stars. That's not worship. The kind of worship that I'm talking about, are the ones that you cannot argue with that they are worship. They are not about showing up or showing who they are. It's not about them. It's about the presence of God, and those are the ones that I really appreciate.
Okay, I will tell you who it was. Is Sinash, or whatever you call her, and
there is a particular song you sang.
Yes,
you sent.
I think I sent two of her music, but the first one is like, I don't like this at all. This is not worship song. So it's Sinash, I Know Who I Am. That was the first one that everybody danced to, and they're so happy. I know who I am.
Yeah, because people are dancing to that, and people are getting excited about it because people want to do yanga. People want to demonstrate themselves. They want to show for themselves. But it's not a worship song. People just want to dance. People want to do their movement. What people are doing in churches today is an abuse to worship, to praise and worship. It's an abuse to God. People are about demonstrating themselves, what movement they've got and what dress they've got. They're not even thinking about God at that time. It's not even about God at all. It's about them. It's about how cool, how I'm feeling. It's about their own feeling. It's not about God. So I'm kind of, I'm kind of conservative in that sense. In fact, there was a time that I mentioned this on my live broadcast, and there's a guy that I respect so much. By the way, he does a good worship. Aremu something Aremu. And he was there that day when he heard me talk like this, that whatever people are doing in church today is an abuse of God. And they are calling it, in the name of praise and worship, people are doing a lot of atrocities and just doing their own thing. God doesn't even come close. It's just like saying club. It's just a club thing. It's just an enjoyment thing. It doesn't have anything to do with God. Even though they are using the word of God or the name of God, but their heart is far from Him. And that what God is concerned about is about the heart. So when the guy had me talking like that I don't buy into what people do in church today. That the praise and worship has been hijacked. The guy, he was so annoyed, he has never come back since. Even though I like him personally, but he's not ready for this kind of truth that I'm saying. But you go and listen to those Osana, integrity, worship. It's not because of old, people say, it's old school. No, I'm talking about the heart, the attitude. Those are about Maranatha and people like that. I'm talking about the heart. Yeah, they, for me, are, they know what praise and worship, praise and worship is about. But what people are doing these days, it's just about people are just enjoying themselves. That's just the end of the day. That's just about it. People like Chris Tomlin, those are people I think are great worshippers. I mean, there are many names I could mention. Don Moyen, go and see the way Don Moyen sings and worship. You know that this man knows what is praise and worship. But what a lot of people are doing, I'm sorry. Or, go ahead. There's a group they call Casting Crowns. Casting Crowns. Yeah, Casting Crowns. Yeah. For me, they are worshippers. They know what it means to worship God. What do you call Smith or Michael Smith or Mike W. Smith? Yeah, Mike W. Smith. Yes, he is a worship. Those are the worshippers that I recognize, that I fall for. They know what it means to be worshippers. They know God. They love God. They worship. They are doing worship. But what a lot of people are doing, carry job or whatever they call it. Those people, they might know, they know what worship is about. But culture, what do you call it? Something culture, Christian culture or Jesus culture. They are worshippers. But a lot of things that people are doing these days, I'm sorry, just a show business. It's just about themselves. People are just showing off who they are and what they are, how cool they are. But when you go to Casting Crowns, Chris Tomlin, people like that, they, Michael W. Smith, yes, they are worshippers for me. I'm sorry if I am a kind of, what's the name of this other guy, the African guy, what's his name? He's an old guy now. He used to be in the Osana something too. But, yeah. Huh? Yeah, that's different. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. You wanted to comment?
Yes, I wanted to comment, right. So I'm still going to comment. What happened was, so after I sent that first one, which is the Waymaker thing, I sent the I Know Who I Am, which I still love, by the way, because I'm starting from like club music to worship songs like that, so I need to graduate. So then I send him Waymaker, thinking that this is better. He said, "Hey, I don't like any of this music." Why are you sending me this? I don't like it. This is not worshiping God. This is this. And then he sent me one music. I'm thinking, oh my God, what's this? It's like a South African song. That this is the kind of song that I like a folk kind of song, and they're all dancing. I watch your YouTube. I'm thinking, okay, I think we're both in a different realm here.
No, South Africa a cappella.
Yeah.
When you hear South Africa a cappella sing, they are singing from their soul. If I believe that the South African, not the ones that are singing American songs, they are now switching. Many of the South Africans are now going to sing English and West African songs. But if you see real South African worshippers, when they are singing in their own languages, especially Zulu and those kind of languages they have, South African worshippers, and they are a cappella, and when they are singing their language, for me, they are natural born worshippers. Yes, even their own national anthem, to Africa or whatever. Even that you could feel the anointing on it. I feel more anointing on those kind of, even their secular song, than I feel on those the ones you are calling worship songs. Because there is no connection. But they are making connection with the Spirit when they are singing. And I can pick that up very fast. But the problem with the Christians of today is that they cannot pick it up. They don't differentiate. If a song is coming from the Spirit or from natural, just from somewhere. But that's my problem. I pick it up if the music is born out of the Spirit and if it's being sung in the Spirit or not. So a lot of groups people call Christian groups, for me they are not Christian groups. They are just people doing their own thing. People are just doing their own thing. But even there are some secular people, though they are not secular, but people who are just naturally spiritual and naturally connected, like South Africans. If they are singing their natural worship songs, especially in their languages, no, you can't beat it.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm conscious of time, just because also Dr. Sunday has been out all day. I know he's speaking with energy because he's got passion for what he's saying, but I think we should be kind and not cruel.
Yeah, but you should go ahead and see what people are writing.
Okay, so
you need to check on what people are writing, what they are doing.
DSA, somebody says, I'm a worship leader, and to be truthful, what so many people are singing now is, I can't see the full. So can anyone else see it?
Can you see it? You have your thing. Use that.
Okay. Let me see. I'll read Nikki's one again. Yeah. It doesn't mean those new generation songs are bad. That's from Pamela saying that. No, he just doesn't enjoy it. It's about him.
No, not that the new generation. There are new generations that are good too. If I see it, I will know it. Okay, for example, there used to be a group in Nigeria. What is it called? They sang Only Praise, and they sang Oko or something
Lori Oko.
Lori Oko. I don't know what group it is, but I think it's a Christian group, Olorioko team. But I think they are no more together. Those are worshippers. Those are worshippers, even though it's modern as well. So, and like for example, there is another Yoruba, this girl, she sings in Yoruba, George something, Lara George. Yeah. She's a worshipper, but although she has been going, she's now singing some other things. But originally, in a core, she's a worshipper. Or if you listen to people like Andre Crouch, those are worshippers. Those are real, genuine, genuine people. You don't need to look for them. They are just worshippers.
The real choir, Infinity.
Infinity, for example, that Infinity, absolutely anointing. Whiners or the whiners. These are worshippers. These are people who know God. They are singing from the Spirit. So it doesn't have to be old. I'm not talking that I belong only to the old group. I'm just showing you these are the easy examples that come to mind of people like the Christian culture or Christ culture or whatever they call Jesus culture. They are new now. They are on top now. And even this Tom, Chris, Claude, all those names I made, they are very modern now. It doesn't mean they have to be old, but it just means that there are people who know this, who are in the Spirit, who are connected in the Spirit. And nobody is talking about this. Everybody is just closing their eyes. But no, what's her name? Was the old woman's name. Those are real worshippers. And that's what I'm talking about. We need worshippers, people who know God, people who, for example, Hillsong. I don't see them as worshippers. Hillsong for me are not worshippers. Hillsong are great praise team, but they are weak in worship. But they are great praise team. But for me, they are not worshiping. They don't. They do a lot. They try, but they are great. They are the best song of praise. But it's different as well. So.
I didn't know there was a difference between songs of praise and worship song. So that's probably another question to ask. What the difference is between songs of praise and worship. But
there's another group also in America they call Third Day. I think they are still their Third Day. Those are people who know God. They are connected. They are not even praise and worship team. They are solo groups. But they are worshipers. They are, they sing from the Spirit. Okay. So you wanted to read some comments?
Yes. Let me read some of these comments. Says Shirley Caesar.
Shirley Caesar is what I wanted to say. Shirley Caesar. Yeah.
Thank you, Stella, for that. And then we have, please, DSA, listen to songs by Nathaniel Bassi. They are all worship songs from Spirit. That's Ezekiel that's advising that.
Okay.
Mo says Shirley Caesar. Again, thank you, Mo. A few people have come up with Shirley Caesar. Davida says there needs to be a reformation of music in the church. The songs are no different from own, I believe, outside. So the songs in the church are no different. Somebody says Terry McCalmon.
Yes. Now, Terry McCalmon, that person who mentioned Terry McCalmon, he knows something.
Edwin Amini.
He knows something about worship. That guy is connected. If it's Edwin who said that, he knows the difference from when song is being spoken from the Spirit, sung by the Spirit or not. If it is anointed, if it is worship or not. That Terry McCullough is a worshiper. That is real. That's the real deal right there.
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't even know those ones.
I don't have any idea. I've never heard those names.
That's the problem with Christianity today. Because you are just a church member that the ones that everybody is shouting to is what you want to do. It's a pity. You are not connected to the Spirit. You need to be connected to the Spirit first.
I have a lot of work to do. Danny McCloughan, somebody said.
Yes, that's it now. You just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Danny McCloughan. Yeah, that's another person.
Yeah.
Yes,
the first one is Terry.
Yeah, Danny McCloughan is a worshiper too. Then Judy Jacobs. Judy Jacobs is another worshiper. So those are the real people who are worshippers. Those are the real God carriers. They are not just worshippers, they are God carriers. Yeah, I tell you that.
Somebody who has said Sonny Badu.
Yeah, I don't, I've listened to it a little bit, but, it's trying, but,
Nah.
I'm not there.
Okay.
It's not my thing.
Okay. Yeah. Charles is saying, I can pick up soul music, spirit music, body music too. Praise God. Many of them singing knows only about Jesus. They don't know Jesus for themselves.
Yes, that's the difference.
That's what Charles is saying.
That's the difference, yes.
And David is saying, some songs are pure worship from the heart, others are simply from the flesh. Yes. Not the same.
Yes.
And then Tad said Midnight Crew and Infinity. I think that's another.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Midnight Crew.
Midnight Crew, I don't know Midnight Crew. They are
they
singing
good. Yoruba, I think.
Yeah, they sing good songs, but I don't know if they're. But Infinity that went out, they were in the spirit. They were worshippers. Yeah.
And D says that, yes, D said that is very true. There's nothing as good as pure worship that connects you to the Creator. And then Pastor Edwin says, so true. God bless you. At Nikki Okoro. Okay, he's talking to Nikki. All singing is not worship. That's Davida again. I am a worship leader, and yes, this is. I read this already. I'm a worship leader, and to be truthful, what so many people are singing now is pure entertainment. It doesn't mean those new generation songs are. Yeah, I've read this one already.
Read it to the end.
Okay.
Read it to the end.
Okay, let me read the end again.
What?
Oh, it says it doesn't mean those new generation are not all the new generation. Okay, it says it doesn't mean those new generation songs are bad. That's what she said.
Yeah, which is true.
Yeah. So, and Jane is saying Zulu and Xhosa music.
Yes. Yeah, Xhosa.
Xhosa, okay.
Yes. So they are good. South Africans. If you want to get spiritual, anytime you grow enough.
I grow up. When you grow up
and you want to get spiritual and you really want to feel God, go listen to South Africans. Especially when they are speaking their language, when they are singing their language. But the problem with them is that they all want to be American. They are Americanizing themselves by force. Okay. And that is the problem. Yeah, if they could just know that what they have is better than what Americans have. I want to go and listen to South African music, but then they'll begin to. I want to buy them when they begin to go American. I just abandon them. I just buy God. I want to do the real deal. And many Americans, they would also want that the real deal, but they are going to copy, and your copy will never be as good as the original. That's what Nigerians are doing too. They are copying Black Americans and African Americans, but they will never be as good as them. No. Believe me, they will never be as good.
Copy is never good as the original. Yeah.
Where Nigeria is good is just making good, joyful noise to the Lord. They don't have music in Nigeria. They only make music in Nigeria. The ones who have music, real music in Nigeria, are the secular guys, the Peace Corps guys, all those kind of people. But the church people, the praise and worship is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Most of them are just making joyful songs to the Lord. But it's good. At least they bring the anointing down. That's one thing with Nigeria. Nigerians will sing. It doesn't matter the quality. They will sing and the Holy Spirit will fall. So that one is another good side of the Nigerian something. The quality might not be good. The rhyme might not be perfect. The voices might not be professional. But they will bring the Holy Ghost down by force.
Thank you.
But all those fanciful music that they are saying is coming from, from those a particular church. I don't want to mention that church. Not that I'm afraid, but they are just good, entertaining music, good quality music. There's one particular guy that I was playing his song. I normally play his song. I was even playing it here. That's the only song from that man or from any other guy from any of the people from that church. And all the leading people from that church are the biggest names in music in Nigeria. But that other guy is the only one. Only one song, not even the guy himself, only one of his songs That other console I couldn't. They're just.
Who's this guy?
Huh? I forgot his name. I was playing his. People remember I would be playing the beginning of my message one time when I used to do daily broadcast. I didn't even know he's a Nigerian. I thought he was a South African.
Is it Joel Priest?
Yeah.
Joel Priest.
Maybe.
Okay, guys. I think Dr. Sunday can still go on. So what are they saying? We have DSA. I just recommend. You will love his song. Ooh. This is recommended Nathaniel Bassey.
Okay.
So and another person concur, which is so Ezekiel recommended, and Yetunde concur with that and said Nathaniel Bassey is good.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with him.
Okay. Then it says we still have great worshippers in Nigeria. There are a lot that are not well known to DSA.
Yeah,
somebody is saying.
Yeah.
DSA, the days are drawing closer. Happy birthday, DSA. Yes, that's true. I can't keep calm. That's Theophilus viewer. You can't keep calm also, I can tell. Yes.
Okay, I think it's time for you to remind them of the
contest. Okay, guys. Yes, the days are getting closer. Yes, we have contest and the prize is to be won. So I know that you know already, but I am going to remind you of what you're going to win. If you watched us this morning in the summit review, we did a very good. I explained to you that winning one of this, well, I didn't win. I just experienced one of this, which is for the first time I had a call with Dr. Sunday for an hour or more. I don't know. I told you the story. Go and watch it. Go and watch this morning. I don't want to say the story again, but it was really interesting. That was the call that changed everything for me. Just that one conversation for the first time with Dr. Sunday was amazing. It was such a great time to really open my mind to understand relationship between somebody of his caliber and also myself, and just to feel human, and appreciated. It was just an amazing time. So the prizes that we have for this contest are, number one, Pastor Sunday's book. You know already. We've mentioned a couple of books to you today, which is The Kingdom Driven Life and also Who Am I, Why Am I Here? Those two alone, if you have those two or if you've got it already, you can bless other people if you win those books. But there are many, many books that in English now. By the time we end this month in English, we should have close to 70 or even 80 books in English. So there's so many books to select for you to read if you win this contest on the first prize. Another prize to win is Skype Talk with Pastor Sunday, which is 1 hour, and that's what I was explaining earlier, that a talk with Dr. Sunday for 1 hour. Oh my God, OMG, you will love it. Your life probably, likely, definitely will not be the same, because that's my experience. So I'm just talking from experience. And then number 3 prize is be Pastor Sunday's personal visitor. That's you coming here to Kyiv, Ukraine. So coming here to see the most attractive person or the most attractive thing in Ukraine. I don't want to say person because it's not about look. It's just that this is the only thing that attracts me to Ukraine. I'm sorry, Ukrainians, but I will never come here if it's not for Dr. Sunday. I really wanted to tell them at the embassy that don't waste my time. Just give me the visa. Anyway, don't let me talk about myself. So, and then the 4th one is lunch with Pastor Sunday in Kyiv. So as well as coming over, or somebody else will come over as well to have lunch with Dr. Sunday over here in Kyiv. That would be fun because the lunch with Dr. Sunday is like a feast. You would enjoy it. So, and then personal question time, which is another opportunity to talk to him on the phone. But in addition to just talking and getting to know each other, you have a whole hour to ask questions. Ask your own personal question. And you know what he says about questions, how he values questions. This is the best person to ask questions. Question to him is so important that, that's the core of a human being. You know, asking questions and getting to know, having answers and getting the right information is the best thing about being a human being, according to him. So the other thing that, in order for you to participate in this, you know what to do. But let me also explain. There are 8 categories. And in each category, there will be a number of winners. So it's not just one winner in each category. There's several winners. So the first one is the best doers. What do we mean by the best doers? The best doers are people who have accomplished the most projects after the teachings of Pastor Sunday. So if you're a listener and you've been listening to Dr. Sunday and you know that he's helped you, or even if you've been listening and you've developed projects through his teaching, through the understanding of his teaching, you've been liberated in some ways or another. I posted the testimony yesterday on his page. That was an amazing one that somebody else can also, because the testimony I posted was, I think it was Eric Lindo, and what he started now. That's a doer too. So if you go and read that testimony that I posted, I will repost it again.
Is it a video or written?
Yes, it's a written, and it's got pictures of evidence of what he's done. This is by Eric Lindo's testimony. So the testimony is written and also pictures of what he's saying, what's happened to him since he started listening to Dr. Sunday. He's developed a wealth creation school where people attend, and he used biblical principles to teach them on how to make money and create wealth. So that's an amazing one. And I know other people on the platform already that have done videos or are doing videos in their field to help other people. Abidemi is one of them. I don't want to mention names, but they're doing fantastic work. So you're a doer, because by listening to him, you're doing something. And also other people writing books. That's you being a doer. So you can enter this contest. There's 7 people that can win any of these prizes, 5 prizes from the list, so you will be a doer. Number 2, 7 most grateful performer. Okay, this one is so good because you also learn what the scale of gratitude is. And the scale of gratitude, according to Dr. Sunday, is also on this page where we pinged on Dr. Sunday's page, which is the scale has 11 steps. And thank you is the lowest of them. I didn't know anything about gratitude at all until I came here, and I understood. We had a session, or it was a surprise session actually, with all the pastors, Ukraine, following the anniversary, and they came and they started talking about the levels of gratitude, and this is the lowest for them and all that. I'm thinking, what's this all about? And that's what I found out. It's amazing. You need to either watch that video as well. I don't know the title. I'll put it down. And also learn about the levels of gratitude. So if you're at the top 3 of that scale of gratitude, then you can enter this. And I think a lot of people would be. So check that out. And then the third one is Mozilla's book reader. So if you're already Dr. Sunday's book reader, is already launched a lot of books in the last year. So if you've read a lot of the book, and at least most of the books, you can enter into this contest. So in order to enter, you need to tell us the book that you've read, or the book that you're reading, or the books that you've read, and give us notes about them, what you learn, what you're doing with them, how it's helped you. Just give us your notes and let us know how that has helped you as a book reader. Then there's also best followers or students of Pastor Sunday, people who listen to Pastor Sunday's largest amount of teachings. So if you're one of them, I know there are loads of people, because I've read testimonies of people who have said that since they discovered Dr. Sunday on YouTube, they've listened to hundreds of Dr. Sunday's of teaching. So from one playlist to another, some playlists have 30, even 40 hours. As you know, with prayer, for example, you've listened for 40 hours. So if you're one of those people you're one of the best followers that have listened to his teachings, either his audio, either his video, whatever which way, please enter this category and tell us what you're learning, how it's helped you, how you've developed yourself on these teachings. So please do that and enter this competition. And then there's number 5, which is the greatest DSA promoter. So your DSA promoter if you succeed in the largest amount of sharing DSA's videos content. So with this one, you can go on DSA's YouTube or even his blog and share on your page. You know, when you share from any platform, it would show on your log, and we'll be able to see. So, and this afternoon, Kate kindly offered that if you want to know how to check your log to see what you've been doing in the last few months or even weeks in this case, then she can tell you. So you write to vip@godembassy.org if you want Kate to help you to see what you've been doing on the log. But rather than just wait for her to show you, why don't you just keep sharing, and share and promote Dr. Sunday. So those promote his videos, promote his articles, promote his audios, promote anything that you see that is Dr. Sunday and is positive and inspiring, then please promote them as soon as you can. So start that right now. And then there's number 6, 7 best creator of 5 minutes videos with lessons from DSS teaching. I think this is fantastic for all those people that are camera shy. Yes, if you're camera shy, this is the one that you should go for. Just get on there and be passionate. Tell people what you've been learning. Do a 5 minutes video. Help somebody else out and just tell them what you've been learning. Just break that ice now of camera and just look at the camera in the eyes and do your video. Go on, do it. Yes. And then number 7, which is best DSA video biography creator. This is for the skilled, but we're all skilled. So for the biography creator, if you can do videos, the examples of videos that have been done on Dr. Sunday's biography, I will actually put some up so that you can see examples. But you don't have to do it like them. You can do it in your own style. Just do a biography. And if you want information about his biography, what it is about, you should have it already. If you're a follower, you should know that number 1, you can get his book, Olorunwa. And if you don't have his book, there are also information through live broadcast that he's taught us, that is mentioned about his life. And also recently in the Saturday Summit, he gave us a full detail of his biography, how he started, you know, where he grew up.
You just posted it yesterday. Biography.
Yes.
You posted.
Yes, also, yes. Pastor Sunday just reminded me. I was the one that posted it. But I also posted Dr. Sunday's biography this afternoon, and I'm going to post it again tomorrow just for you.
Too.
And I did yesterday, but for you I'm going to post it tomorrow twice so that you can also see. That would help you. So that's like your little cheat I'm sending you. So use it to create your biography videos and be creative. You know, he likes colors, he likes laughing, so maybe you could have like laughter and all of that in it. Just do your own thing. And then the list, the final one, which is not the list, is the last but not the least, which is really my favorite because I cannot keep calm, is Dr. Sunday's Golden Jubilee. So this one is the one that I love the most, and I think that we should all participate, even just as a gift to Dr. Sunday. So what you need to do is hashtag DSA Golden Jubilee, and with your congratulatory messages, with your pictures, with your written messages, with your videos, everything that you've done all over the world that you've been sending me, start posting them and writing messages, writing something so that other people can see your gratitude. Say something about the pictures, what you were doing, why you were doing this, and promote this. Put it out as often as possible in different variety or different formats. So this is the hashtag DSA Golden Jubilee. So the best person that performs in this category would also win, not person, the best people, because there's 6 people that can win this one. So guys, that's it, folks. It's been a great evening with you, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I cannot wait because we have a host of questions, but we're not stopping there. Please bring your question. Bring it on. Put your thinking cap on. Let's ask him all these questions. I don't know when we would ever get this opportunity again. Sometimes I feel like I've got a brain freeze with questions. I could sneak questions there, but I don't remember questions. So help me out. Send questions, okay? So I think that's it for this evening. We've spent enough time. It's now 10:35 over here. We've gone half an hour over. But it's been a pleasurable time. I enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed it too. And Dr. Sunday, thank you for your time. Say goodbye, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. So long. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.